Good evening, everyone. My name is Kyle Massey. I am the founder and CEO slash owner of Keelay's Mare, Terra. This is a small, petite, fine dining restaurant in the heart of Manhattan, more specifically the Upper East Side. We are more or less a fusion cuisine restaurant. What makes us unique, more or less, is that we do offer that fusion cuisine. It is a combination of Italian, traditional Italian, right along your Sicily area, with the combination of coastal Maine seafood. That's actually never been done before. We've been working with our chef to work out certain dishes that kind of combine together to form a suitable combination for most of our appetizers, entrees, and desserts. Obviously, you're not going to throw seafood into a dessert, but that's just the general idea, is that we're going for that combination. Kind of, what do we do? I mean, obviously, we're a restaurant. We pride ourselves on our service. Number one, we are a fine dining establishment. We try to go along the professional side, but we don't want people to lose sight of the family atmosphere. The best part about Keelay's Mare Terra is that we do have a combination setting. As our cuisine is fusion, we split up our restaurant. The build of it is split in the middle. Obviously, you have your host stand at the front, and you have a little bar to the side on the left as you walk in. And in the middle, it splits, and you have your coastal side, which has mostly fish netting, lobstering, that kind of setting on that side, with a more brightly lit and blue, vibrant decor, whereas the left side is going to be your low-key, and that's going to be candlelit dinner, that kind of decor on that side, that kind of ambiance. Obviously, our menu is generic, not generic, but it goes for both sides. On the left side and the right side, you can get the entire menu. Each day, the thing that separates us from everyone else is that we do have a small menu, but we have about 5 to 7 different specials each day, and those can vary from appetizers to entrees to desserts. We have everything to go for every single day, and every single day is something different. We're not going to have a special for the entire week. That's what separates us. We have a special every single day, freshly made. Just the other day I was working on a special. It was a crab risotto with a filet mignon, and it was salmon poached asparagus. What I did was I took the skin of salmon and the bones, made almost like a stock, and I poached the salmon or the asparagus with that to give it that kind of smoky flavor that comes from salmon. That's just kind of a little brief example as to what we do with our food to make it different from everyone else. Why should you care is the real question. After doing all of our finances and everything like that, I'll show you a brief overview on my little layout right here. What we did was, I'm going to show you really quick. What we did is I broke it down into all of our expenses and our incomes. Right here is just the expenses, but here you can see at the bottom it looks like a big number, but once I show you the income, it's not going to look as much. Just going to break it down for you. Licenses and permits in New York run about $30,000 every 3 years. Really no wiggle room. Restaurants and bars and lounges are all you all do the same. You all have to pay the same. Pay your dues. Insurance, it can vary from about $7,000 to about $15,000 depending on the size of the establishment. We're 50 seats-ish. 50 tables, 50 seats, right around that. So we're looking at about $12,500 after all the research. Real estate, we're not that big of an establishment again, so we're not going to be paying crazy amounts, but we are going to be paying a good amount for the real estate considering the location. Furniture, fixtures, and equipment, kind of standard, about $300,000 to about $500,000 what you're going to look to spend. We're just breaking it down to $325 because we're actually taking some of our own stuff from Maine, because obviously we are from Maine. So we're taking some of our own equipment and bringing it down as decor for one of the sides. Italian, we're going to start from scratch. We're going to have to buy everything. As far as technology goes, POS systems run about $20,000. That is just the down payment, just to get the system installed. However, once you start making money, they take about 2 cents per dollar earned. So it's going to look, we kind of brought that down into the miscellaneous section because we don't know how much we're going to spend. That's why it looks like such a great amount in the 50,000. The food and beverage cost, that was taken from the food sales that we projected, which I'll show you in a moment, but you'll see that's not a bad amount, honestly. It looks like a big number, but it's not. As far as staffing goes, I actually took the hours that we are projected to give for the hours of operation per week per position times the wages, and that came up to about that. And I actually added an extra hour onto each shift just for wiggle room because it's a great business. I mean, you never know how long you're going to be there. As far as marketing goes, 21,000 is a solid starting point. As we begin to grow older, as we begin to progress in the industry, we won't need as much. Our name will be established, so that's why it shrinks as the years go on. And then as far as maintenance goes, we're going to need to fix that, the furniture, fixtures, and equipment. It's inevitable. It just happens. Again, the miscellaneous is just for all occurrences that were not supposed to happen but did. Let's scroll down a little bit. As far as income, I don't know if you can see it that well, but we are looking at a pretty serious margin. If I have the numbers right here, I'll tell you in 1 second. Right here, we're looking at about, for food sales, we're looking at $2,145,000 compared to the expense, which was, again, for the first year, $1,701. So right there, we already have a profit, but that's not regarding income tax. As far as beverage sales, we do have a small bar, so we're only looking at about 643, a little under $1 million. But either way, this is, if everything goes as we plan, it is going to be a serious profit. I mean, gross profit before income tax is already $1 million, a little over. That's, I mean, you got to take out probably another $400,000 for income taxes. Either way, it's $600,000 first year. Unheard of. If everything goes right and everything plays how it's supposed to, then we'll see what happens. That's definitely why people should care. We are looking to become one of the prestigious names in the New York area. We pride ourselves on our service, quality of food, and the best part about it is that it's a tourist trap in New York. And you can't, the best part is you can take the seafood, the main seafood, where tourists is a huge attraction, bring it to New York. You get the best of both worlds. You get your New York City life, but you get that coastal Maine seafood at the same time. Tourists are obviously our #1 target, but we literally target everyone. Businessmen, I mean, we're not, it's an expensive restaurant. We're only $100, I mean, it's $100 per person. If you're balling on a budget, then it's going to take some time. You're not going to be able to go there every night. But the main part that we like to stress is that we like exclusivity. We want you to have to wait to come. We want to have that name where it's, have you been able to get in there yet? No? Okay, well, we want you to want to come. We want you to need to come, more or less. Thank you for listening. This is Kyle Massey again. Have a great night.